And he said, Rabbi, I know it sounds good, but it's not that good. You see, the buyers for the Russian army, I have to bribe them until they say, okay, your merchandise is good, we'll take it. And the bribes are like 90% of the sale. So Rabbi, please bless me. So the Hafetz Haim says, why don't you make a perfect product? This way they can't find anything on the uniforms, and then they'll take them and you won't have to bribe them. He says, Rabbi, they're already perfect. The uniforms are great. They just complain because they know I'm going to smear them. Otherwise, they're not going to buy the uniforms. The rabbi said, oh, okay, now I got you. And he gave the man a beracha, and the man left. The rabbi was there with his students, and he looks at his students, and he tells them, guys, this guy could only be successful because he has to bribe those buyers. He tells his students, guess what? We can only be successful in heaven by bribing as well. And the students are like, what? What are you talking about? Who are we bribing? He said, we have to bribe Hashem. This is the Hafetz Haim talking. They said, bribe Hashem? What does that mean? The Hafetz Haim, he got serious. And he said, everyone in heaven has court cases. And they have court cases, and they're being judged for the actions that they do. And the only way, the Yetzer Hara, he tries to make a lot of trouble. He says, yeah, the guy went to Shaharit, but he was yawning, and he was this, and half sleeping. He went to a class, he fell asleep. He tries to say negativity in the heavenly courts against this guy. But there's a way to bribe Hashem that Hashem will not listen to him. Now, we know Hashem's our Father, and this is very deep, especially coming from the Hafetz Haim. But he tells his students, if you want to be successful in all the court cases and bribe Hashem, we have to do more chesed. Hashem doesn't take money. We can't bribe God with those things. How do we bribe Hashem? By doing more and more chesed. Anyone listening on this chat, anyone that's in the community, that's a part of SBH, that's a part of all the beautiful organizations that we have, is already bribing Hashem, has more chesed under their belt than you could ever imagine. We, after this tragedy that hit us, we are hitting, like we said, a home run. The Torah learning, the chesed that everybody's doing. I got a phone call last night from a woman, Rabbi, we have dozens and dozens of young school children reading Tehillim. Do we say the prayer at the end? Do we not? They finished the book divided. Little kids who have a TV in their home, who have a computer at home. Today, the kids love the video games. They're watching nonsense, whatever it is. At a time like this, when they could just be home watching, they're finishing the Tehillim 8 times. And that's just one phone call I got. Imagine how many children out there are saying Tehillim. Imagine how many adults are praying. How many people are doing the most beautiful things. I get another phone call. They tell me, Rabbi, I have to ask you forgiveness. What? First, I couldn't believe that that person could even ask me. I have to ask them forgiveness for what they do. For me, what they do to them. And she says, no, Rabbi, I think one time a few months ago, maybe something. What? There was nothing. I said, you're forgiven. There's nothing even to forgive. But I asked them, why now? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking maybe they're afraid, Corona. But I said, no way. Their emunah is stronger than mine. So why now? I asked them. And they tell me, Rabbi, now I'm home. I can't run on errands. I said, why waste the time that I have at home? Instead of just wasting my time on nonsense, I decided to go through my actions. And they were making a cheshbon nefesh of all the things they did. And they said, I have to perfect this and I have to perfect that. Imagine, instead of letting things being destroyed, we're building and building. There's a Torah organization. They put out a hard drive with over 10,000 sefarim. They sell it for like $1,500. People who like to have big libraries try to purchase these things. It's a very, very famous program. They just came out this morning and they said, how do we charge money for something now? They opened up all their files online that anyone could who wants to learn Torah. You want to find this book, you want to find that book. Let's guess what? We're gonna let everyone do it for free. Because now is a time that we're not looking at ourselves. We're looking, how could we look at the others to help them? So you have a guy who owns a computer company. You have someone who works in Hesed. You have someone who works in a bank. You have someone who works here. Everybody with their own tools could show Hashem how we're singing. And we're passing this test. And we're passing with flying colors. It's an honor for me to be part of this. I can't believe how lucky we are to see everyone singing, everyone making Hashem proud. This parasha speaks about Hashem's home. It's called the Mishkan, as we know. The Jewish people all donated together. This person gave gold. If a person can't give gold, they gave silver. They gave whatever it is. There were women that did not have anything to donate. So they came and they used their talents. They showed people how to weave, how to sew, how to make the blankets on top of the Mishkan. Because it doesn't matter what you give. It matters that you give. And Hashem only looks at the heart. As a matter of fact, the one who was building the Mishkan, it was Bezalel ben Uri ben Hur. Our rabbis tell us when it says in the Pasuk all his titles, one of the things it says that he reads minds. Lahashov mahashavot. What does that mean to read minds? A rabbi that's a holy man, he knew the names that Hashem used to create heaven and earth. He used it to build the Mishkan. Why does it have to say that he reads minds? Guess what? When he took the gold, the silver, whatever materials that a person donated, he was able to tell how much from the heart they gave. Some people give because they love Hashem, because they love the community, they love people. He said gold like that has to go on the most important things in the Mishkan, the menorah, the shulchan, even the keruvim. There are some people out there on planet Mars, definitely not where we come from, that give so their name could be seen for other reasons. So he looked at that and he says it can't be in the holy things, but of course it's a mitzvah, and anyone who gives a mitzvah. Hashem doesn't look at how much we give, he looks at how we give. But if you definitely have the means, then the more you could do, the more you give, Hashem will be so proud with you. And that's why Hashem says, I will rest my Shekhinah, my holiness in this Mishkan. We'll finish with one more point. It's very hard for me to hang up because I'm getting so inspired from how beautiful everyone that's shipping in is doing and making Hashem proud. We'll finish with one more point. In the Mishkan, there were two keruvim, a boy, a girl, angel, on the Aron. Chacham Ovadia asks a question. We know a Jew is never allowed to make a statue. Even when we were kids, if we had certain ceramic dolls, the rabbi said, break your ear, break your nose, there's no statues, no statues. Now is not a time for halakha. But if we know statues are not good, then how could Hashem tell us on top of the Aron, where Hashem's voice comes out to speak to Moshe? We have two statues, seemingly that they are statues. And Hashem says, put them in the holiest room in the world. That's the Kodesh HaKodeshim, behind the Kotel, where till today, we're not allowed to go unless, of course, the Israeli soldiers, whatever it is, because that's the holiest spot on earth. But yet Hashem is telling us to put the Keruvim, to put those cherubs, the statues, in the Holy of Holies. How could it be? And there are many answers. But one answer that's so important for us to internalize and teach the world is because Hashem doesn't like when people look in a mirror and just see, what do I need? What do I get out of something? When a person looks at the other one, what is his needs? What are her needs? How could I be of help to the other one? That's what the whole world was created for. We know Hillel. He was asked by a goy, tell me your entire Torah in one sentence. And he said, guess what? Love your fellow friend as much as you love yourself. So when you have two kiruvim looking one at the other, that they're not looking at themselves. And guess what? That spot became the holiest spot on earth because of a story that happened way before, where two brothers, they had to give each other, and they were giving each other. They didn't care about themselves. They ended up uniting, hugging out of emotion. A voice came out and from heaven, and Hashem says, that's where I want my Beit HaMikdash to be built. So everybody, even though we're going through this, it might be sad out there, but in our lives, we're bringing happiness and sunshine to others. If we could help, no matter what that help is, it will be appreciated from Borei Olam. You're helping each other. When one hand washes the other hand, that's what the world is all about. Keep up the beautiful, beautiful work. Feel proud of yourselves that you hit a grand slam. You're going to have the best Shabbat. We'll be out of this Bezrat Hashem very, very soon. And we thank all the volunteers for SBH that give from their lives, from all the organizations. Hatzalah, they're running around helping, even though their wives are telling them we're worried, whatever it might be. Guess what? When we're here helping each other like this, Hashem is looking and says, Mi ka'amcha Yisrael, who is like my nation? Look how great they are. Shabbat Shalom, and we love you all.